Welcome to Conversations with the Winners. I'm Jacinta Goda, and I'm here today on behalf of the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. It's my pleasure to introduce Susan Rubio Rivera. Susan is Executive Director of MUJER, and she is a 2021 winner of the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation Award for Health Equity. Welcome, Susan.
Thank you, Jacinta. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
Let's get started. Tell us more about MUJER.
Okay, so MUJER stands for Women United in Justice, Education, and Reform. We were established in 1994, a group of women who wanted to get together and create something that would respond to the issues of domestic violence and sexual abuse in our community of South Florida.
I was very inspired by the statement about MUJER wanting to help victims become survivors and ultimately thrive. Tell us more about that.
First of all, we're going to teach them about the trauma of domestic violence and the impact that it had on their lives and on their daily living, the decisions that they make every day. We're going to give them the tools so that they can identify different options that they have. We are going to provide resources to them and their families, because we do take a holistic approach in working with the entire family. And at the end, they will become survivors. We're a certified rape crisis program. And as such, there's several components of services that must be provided as a certified rape crisis program, including, for example, case management, care coordination, victim advocacy. We have a 24/7 helpline. We provide individual therapy to primary and secondary victims. And we also work with children that are exposed to violence, because we know that the trauma that these children suffer every day when they're exposed to violence will stay with them for the rest of their lives.
Susan, a little bit more about health equity and systems change. And you come at the service model from a different perspective. Can we talk a little bit more about that perspective and how that actually relates to increasing health equity?
Well, a lot of the work that we do at MUJER has to do with outreach. It's really connecting to community. We work mainly, our priority is to work with immigrants, people that, foreign born, that come to our country that may not know their laws, may not know their rights. So that our component for outreach really entails all of that. So one of the things that we do, and we do very much so almost on a daily basis, is we talk about protections and we talk about rights and we talk about how to access judicial systems and so forth. And then we go beyond that. We connect them to the right resources like free legal clinics and free medical clinics so that they can access, the services that they need.
Talk a little bit about the children of who grow up in this environment. What should we know about this, and how does MUJER help?
So the trauma, if we don't work with that trauma and we don't, first of all, acknowledge it and identify it and then work on it, will impact everything that you do. At MUJER, we operate a program. It's called the Children's Heroes Program. And we actually use a Mariah Carey story of heroes, because we want to teach our kids that, number one, it's not their fault. Number two, they have their own hero within, and that hero is themselves, So creating that self-confidence, creating, that feeling of there's nothing I can't do if I really set my mind to it, and really teaching them goals and goal setting for a while. But more importantly, I think it's the acknowledgement, because a lot of times as victims of domestic or sexual abuse, we internalize that pain so much within ourselves that we lose ourselves and we don't even know it, right?
What have you learned along the way that could be beneficial to those viewing this video today?
Yeah, I think that the greatest lesson to be learned is that as providers, we don't have the answers, and it's so important to be inclusive, to incorporate the voice of those that we're going to serve. Because who are we to say what is going to work for them? How does domestic violence impact their lives? We need to hear it from them because the impact is going to be different. And also to do it across the board of who you're serving, because not everybody is the same. Band-aid services or trying to fit somebody into a program service doesn't work. It has to be individual. But the other lessons that we've learned along the way is that don't wait until they come to you. Go to where they live. You need to be able to, they need to be able to access your services. How do they do that? You go to their neighborhoods, you pay them a stipend if you're going to ask them to participate in any type of focus group, not because we're paying them, but because we're respecting their voice and we're respecting their thoughts, right? We created the Safe Families Partnership Network, which is a collaboration between 10 organizations, and we all have developed a safety net. So if you come to MUJER, you're not only going to be able to access our services, but you're also going to be able to access the services of all of our partners. That to us you're creating a village.
What was it like to receive the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation Award for Health Equity? What does it mean to you?
This gives me an opportunity to share our work, to talk about the issues that are impacting thousands of families across America. To me, that is the biggest contribution that this award has given to me, because it allows me to speak about the topic and to also brag and boast a little bit about MUJER, because I truly believe that what we do at MUJER is life-saving.
Absolutely. And we thank you for sharing all of this with us. It's been inspiring, not only for those you serve, but those of us who are hearing the story of MUJER. And we thank you on behalf of Hispanics in Philanthropy and the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. Thank you for all you do.
Well, thank you, Jacinta, and thanks to the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation for once again selecting me to share our work in South Miami-Dade County.
Great. Congratulations on your award.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us for this conversation, and you are invited to more conversations with the 2021 winners of the RWJF Award for Health Equity. And you can learn more about all of the winners at rwjf.org. I'm Jacinta Goda, and thank you for watching.